Could be honest.
Jimi Hendrix.
God.
Are we live?
Yeah. Yes, we're live.
Oh, we're live. All right, Jeremiah, take it away, my friend.
All right, we're starting Houston Recovery Radio. Holy shit, right?
Holy shit.
It is happening.
This is a test run, everybody. So we're just working out all the kinks and bugs. But really important note, I would like to say thanks to Chris Chern's dad for providing all this really super cool audio.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dad.
And,
We fucking love you.
Mr. Chern.
we do have a guest today, James.
What's up?
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not. James Bates. He is the housing director for Sober Living Houston, which Mike Kubicek and Sober Living Houston, I'd like to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We have a whole
Yes.
office to do this in, rent free. Otherwise, we'd be doing this fucking shit in a closet or a bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Are we gonna talk about weird stories in bathrooms and closets? Or?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let's see
Cool.
if anyone wants to hear about weird stories in bathrooms.
I mean, I took a shit in one time, but it's about a decade ago. It's probably still there. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Hey,
Fossilized poop.
when you get a bunch of Coke laced with baby laxatives, it can get real fast.
Oh, yeah.
real hard, real messy, man.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
10, 20 bags.
Now that we broke the ice with James, James, tell us your story.
Give it away.
Just right off the bat like that.
Yeah.
Just ripping it. What I want to know, bro, is what brought you in recovery and what what's your DOC, man? Just give us a little background, bro. But
Man, I'm a Xanax, okay, and like used to love lower tabs, lower sets, narcos, Xanax. I first got introduced to AA when I was 18 years old. It was a part of my condition of probation. I didn't start getting high until like halfway through when I was 17, like halfway through that year. And as soon as about a month after I hit 18, I was already locked up.
locked up where?
I had a burglary habitation charge. Okay. And then I did 6 months out of boot camp on the Tascacita. Yeah. So and then had 10 years deferred adjudication, which I surprisingly, I was able to complete that successfully.
You made it.
Yeah.
Kids do the
Now-
things.
They did send me to treatment 3 times in that 10 years for dirty UAs. But so I got introduced at a young age, but it was, I wasn't trying to hear it, man. Like I was
Right.
18 and that's just what you do is you get fucked up and you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. I had a couple stints of sobriety in my mid 20s and late 20s, but then after that, it was pretty. It was just full force until I this last time I was. So I'd been on a pretty good run. I decided I wanted to just quit using Xanax, painkillers. I was taking like 20, 25 bars a day.
Both heart stoppers,
Yeah.
opiates, and benzos.
Yeah. I've been in.
Lucky didn't die.
So I've been in ICU 3 times, and it wasn't because of my use. It was because I quit using cold turkey and started having seizures. So I wouldn't recommend that. Like you have to get medically detoxed off of Xanax.
Yeah.
But the last time I tried to sober up, like I ended up in Methodist psych ward for 3 weeks because I start fucking hallucinating and talking to walls and stuff coming off of it.
Did they let you play ping pong?
Yeah. No. I was too fucked up to play ping pong.
That's all I know, bro.
It was walk, eat, go back to bed. Walk, eat, go back to bed. That was it.
Get up, head.
Yeah. They let me sleep. And,
Hell yeah.
in there, I was able to physically detox for the bars, but mentally, I still wasn't done. And stayed sober for, I don't know, man, it was probably 45 days. And I decided to twist off again. And I started using around 5:30, almost 6 o'clock on a Friday. And by that night, I had 3 felonies. It was in the county. And I, got to detox in there, which is fun. It's always a good look being in the county.
Which county? I gotta know, bro. Which county were you in? Where are we at? Harris. So you had the lowriders in the basement. T3s?
No, I was on the fifth floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I had detox there at one point, and they had me in the basement somewhere.
And then I got sent to the MHU unit, mental health unit.
Okay.
So there were motherfuckers just sitting there on their racks. They were having conversations with, ain't nobody there, man. I was like, damn.
32-man unit. They made it to 64.
Yeah, it was.
What's detoxing in jail like? Is that laying on the concrete floor and shitting your pants and then telling you to suck it up?
It's pretty much, and seeing that like there ain't that much toilet paper left, and you got to shit your fucking pants. And you're not like, hey, bro, I need some toilet paper. Can you give me the one that you're using for your pillow? Yeah, no. Them motherfuckers ain't trying to hear that shit, man. And
Put some water on that shit.
Like, man, watch your hands, man. Shit. Yeah, it was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
But I was I had a friend that, because everybody was done. They're like, we don't give a shit that you're locked. Like, that's good. You need to be locked away for a little bit. And, I had a friend that was still keeping in contact with me. And I finally I was laying there one day and I was like, man, God, I've got to change my life. I've lost everything. I've lost my kids, my wife, my house, everything. And I was like, it's time to fucking get straight. And I'm like, I'm going to have some major consequences this time. So help me make them through, what I need to do. And when I get out, I need to do whatever it takes, however long it takes to get back on my feet. And so once I finally had surrendered, it's funny because I've been talking to my friend about, I need you to kind of take care of these things. So I'm going to be gone for a minute. Like, I've got bills and shit that I need you to handle for me and stuff. And, here, this money you're going to take in your account and go take care of it. And after, I had that experience, man, this is important for me. Like, when I had that experience where I finally, told God, I was ready to change, do with me what you want. I called her the next day and she's like, you know what, dude, you haven't been asking me to get you out. You've been planning on, you've accepted what's going on. You're planning on what's going to be going, while you're going away the next year. She's like, man, I talked, with your lawyer, and she's like, I'm going to get you out in a couple of days. Just give me a second, and I'm going to get you out. And I already had it hooked up. Had talked to Eric Stewart, our operations manager.
Stewie.
Yeah.
Baby
she had talked to him.
For a while.
Yeah,
she had got some hands.
She had talked to him several times, and she's like, hey, you're going to this. I feel in my heart you need to go over here. And I left, and I got released at almost midnight, man. The only thing I had left was the clothes I had. That was it, man. Everything was gone. But that was cool. It was okay.
Very humbling experience.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's easy to have acceptance and surrender when you're fucking in jail and you ain't got no choice. It doesn't matter. You can't do shit about what's going on in the outside world. You can't do nothing. But that's what I needed. And now, man, I'm just, I'm fortunate and blessed that I get to work with addicts and alcoholics that are trying to sober up. I get to work with them on a daily basis, man. And that's amazing, because you see people who go to meetings and shit and they've got to go out and search out to do 12-step work, it gets delivered right to our fucking feet, man. And that's amazing.
Yeah. So what did you do while you were out in the free world using? What kind of living? What were you doing professionally?
I had a roofing company with a buddy of mine. But mainly I was just going around taking people's shit and pawning it, man. That's what I was doing. I was stealing your shit and pawning it, man.
And looking for it, helping them look for it, right?
Yeah, I didn't take shit, man. Maybe that was Jeremiah. You gotta watch that motherfucker.
They see the little baggie in your pants imprint, they got shit.
Well, I'm just saying that you seem like a fairly articulate guy, you get some education behind you. You're not just some street thug,
Dude, I'm just a child of God, man. Yeah. That's all it is, dude.
Amen.
Man, I've had different points in my life where I've been successful, and but I always end up fucking it up, man. And I don't know, man.
I'm a pretty badass self-sabotager. I don't know about you.
Yeah, how many times have you had to start over again? Bro, I don't know about you, man, but I have had so many new fucking beginnings. And this is what's crazy, right? When you were talking about, how you knew you weren't ready deep down, right? So for me, there was a point in my life where I knew I was fucked, right? I knew that there was this power. I don't know what the fuck it was, but there was at some point in my life where I felt powerless over, this lifestyle, whether, the thieving, it got to the point where it was a necessity, right?
Absolutely.
It was a necessity. So,
I lost the ability to make decisions, man. That was, I wasn't choosing like, hey, I'm going to go fuck you over. Like that's what was going to happen, man.
Right.
I had to get high.
Promises, right? How many times did you mean it though, right? Like, so for me, there were so many times I remember being in state jail. I remember telling my girlfriend, sweetie, I promise you, I had a week left. I am never going to do this shit again. I had tears in my eyes. And you know what's fucked up? Is I fucking meant it, right? You could have put a lie detector test up and I would have passed with flying fucking colors. Now, with that being said, I get out feeling sorry for myself. Self-pity's a motherfucker, especially for somebody like me, right? And she dropped me off at a sober living. And guess what? I get high again, right? And then she asked me, what's wrong with you? I said, I've been trying to figure that out my whole life. I don't fucking know. I'm lying. And then I'm lying to her to top up on the thing that I thought I told the truth about, So, these were very, defining moments for me when I realized the powerlessness of
Nick Cruz, fuck you, Nick.
He said that?
He tagged.
Been here.
He tagged me on. I was like, why is he mentioning me in a comment? He's fucking.
Is he watching that? Nicky, baby, boy.
Fuck you, Nick.
Yeah. Hey, how's that? Why don't you bring that Tundra up over here, Bubba? You can tow your Tundra with the bike that you can't drive. Yeah, he's probably like,
want to be biker ass.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I drank because I didn't want to fucking deal with my problems. I started going through divorce and a big burnout in my early 30s, and it was just a way to just hide my head under a rock. Financial debt, all that other shit.
Yeah, but you're at the end of that run, you're still divorced and you're still in fucking debt.
Yeah, I'm still
and probably more debt,
Yeah.
But that does, that doesn't matter when I'm in my addiction like that. Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, I didn't give about shit. I didn't care about shit. I just, I get numb.
And for someone like you, man, Jeremiah talking about like, bro, fucking porn, skydiving. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I bet you, listen, check this out. I'm thinking,
all Johnny Long.
Can you imagine?
Somebody pull up Pornhub.
You got that out. You got that early.
No, not yet. Of course.
You knew this was coming, dog.
Jeremiah skydived first, then he went in the porn industry, and he was the skydiving pink goblin. Diving all up in it anyway.
You're just busting balls here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
I'm just busting your balls.
I'm just
So, did you do anything? Hey,
balls.
Jeremiah, did you do anything else besides gay porn?
No comment.
Gay leprechaun.
Awkward.
Okay, now I'm sweating. But anyway,
Listen to me, he's trying to evade it.
That's just because it's a fucking PC.
I'm totally fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
So James, tell us, what are you doing nowadays with your life?
What am I doing nowadays?
Yeah, bro. Like the happiness. Let me ask you this, man. So since you've been sober, since you've acquired this sobriety, and you start to have this new sense, in my opinion, right? Like when I was working, for sober living,
Right.
it was such a gift for me to not only give back, but also it held me accountable, right? There were days, man, where I felt like I didn't want to go into work, but I was like, well, shit, look at what I had. Like, I mean, I have some sobriety time now, right? I have some recovery, right? And so with that being said, that sense of purpose that I had every day, whether I wasn't in the mood or whether I was, it didn't matter. I go to work, man, some days, and I'd be the only prick.
But, so
excited.
I feel like, there were guys that were around that were there for me and helped me along, when I was first getting sober this time and first trying to change my life. And I think that I have a responsibility and a duty to make myself available for, guys that need help, man.
Right. And it's almost like, like an obligation. It's gratitude in action.
Yeah, everybody talks about like they're grateful, but how do you show that you're grateful?
Right.
And how you show that is, you got to make yourself available to another alcoholic or addict 24/7, man.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Jeremiah.
No, I like working in this field. I was a 911 paramedic for quite a long time. I won't mention the agencies that I worked for, but a big thing for me was
were they Pornhub friendly?
Rescue that pussy.
Can we say that?
What are you talking about? Anyway,
yeah. So
let me find out he used one of the ambulances for a fucking set one night.
A sense of purpose is a big deal for me. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do after a 15-year EMS career. I really had no freaking clue. I was all over the place. I was all over the map.
You did like life flight and shit too, right?
Were you drinking when you were doing this life flight?
No.
Okay, you were
Off
sober.
duty.
Off duty. Gotcha. Did you ever go into work smelling like booze and going into? Were there ever times where you were put in a position where you were helping other people, right? And it was a life or death situation, and you were under the influence? No. Okay, good. That's good, man. Hell yeah. That's something.
My home life sucked though.
So you never. I mean, and I'm not. You never were in a position where your use put one of your patients in jeopardy.
No, compromising the public integrity.
That's badass because I would have fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it too, man.
No, I sure as shit showed up for some 24-hour shifts hungover. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's very common. I talk to a lot of people that are quote unquote normies, that don't have alcoholism or drug addiction like I have, and they talk about how they'll go in feeling like just complete shit, the next day, and they're talking about, oh man, I was so irresponsible. I had to cut myself off at 2 a.m. And I'm thinking, bro, just you're good, man. You're good. I just once I start, I can't stop.
Yeah,
that's my problem. And so the progression, right? Going back to you, Jeremiah, talking about the life flight, and talking about maybe we had talked about this before about PTSD, right? We discussed a little bit about that, about the shit, some of the shit that you had went through and you experienced. And I was telling you, man, I don't fucking blame you. I don't know what I would do in certain situations. Do I have PTSD? I don't know, but I've been through some shit. And I'll tell you what, there was a lot of times when I got fucked up, not only because it was a necessity, but it was also something to blotch out what it is that I went through.
I think I've learned that most addicts, man, we've got some form of PTSD for the shit. I mean, the shit that goes on out there, man, and you get into, it's hard not to be traumatized.
For sure.
Well, there's a doctor. His name's Gabor. My doctor named Gabor. Gabor Mate, the guy's like an expert on addiction. He says most people are, addiction is usually the secondary to some type of trauma. People are trying to self-medicate. That's pretty much the whole sole basis for addiction.
Right.
Gabor Mate, you can look him up.
Okay, Gab, it starts with G-A-B, like gabapentin? Gabapentin. Okay.
But I definitely towards the end of my EMS career, I started drinking. I go home and need a way to turn the volume down on certain things because, you're pulling dead kids out of a car at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're going home and you got a toddler running around and a wife that needs help with this and that and the other. And Yeah, it was.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I could not even imagine.
Yeah, I disconnected quite a bit. So
Right. I mean, I don't know what I would do, Jeremiah, but my hat's off to you, Bubba. You know,
yeah,
I respect
probably
that.
probably some of my EMS friends are listening now, but that's a pretty prevalent thing with police, fire, and EMS. There's a lot of PTSD. There's psychiatric issues.
Is
suicide.
that something you want to get back into?
Right.
Is being a paramedic?
No.
He's like, hell
I'll
no.
never get back on an ambulance. I'll maintain my paramedic license, but I have zero plans of riding another ambulance.
Right. And
Hey,
understanding
well,
the
if I ever pass out, still call 911.
I'll give you mountain.
Jeremiah's like, ask him out, baby.
If something's wrong, I need actual help, not Jeremiah.
All right, man.
I always worry about that. You know, do I have the nerves of steel anymore? You know, it seems like certain little things stress me out. You know,
Right.
I have to learn how to deal with that. I used to be able to just deal with all kinds of crazy shit.
I think if you ever had to, it would just kick in naturally.
Yeah. And for sure, I think that's one of the common defects that I see in alcoholism is the no patience. Right, is one of the things that I have. I have zero. Right, especially when it's coming from outside forces that I have no control over.
Fuck you,
You know,
now.
and for sure. And I want to be the director and the rings of lights and the show and cast. You know, I want everybody to act and do the way that what I want them to do. And in the process, I've always been, and I never looked at it like that. You know, how like I try to arrange everything, and then when something doesn't go my way, it's fucked. You know, and I think that goes hand in hand with expectations, right? What did I expect out of my sobriety? So, James, where you're at right now, man, in your sobriety, how much time do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I sobered up on January 7th, 2019.
Congrats, bro.
Wow.
That's what's up, man.
Congrats.
Any in particular? So I know that you talked about earlier about you just made a decision. You just said, fuck this, I'm done with this. You know, I need to start doing something different.
Right.
And in the process, do you think that working at Sober Living has helped you maintain and grow in your recovery?
Man, absolutely, dude. You know, I mean, you can't just talk a bunch of hot shit to people. You know, you gotta be living in recovery. So, man, it like when all these problems come up, you start worrying about this and worrying about that. Man, I'm able to just get real basic. Like, I'm thankful I've got a roof over my head, and I'm thankful I'm not fucking detoxing tonight.
Right.
The pain had gotten pretty real, man, and it was bad. And I'm just thankful right now. Man. Thankful to be in a position where I can reach out and give somebody channel of water.
Fry the mind.
What
Well, at least they don't get stolen. Fucking dirt, you know.
So,
First night in here.
can I tell that story?
I learned firsthand how to lock a door correctly. I'll tell you that much.
We gotta put a fucking deadbolt on it.
We had to give him a training seminar on how to turn on.
Twice.
Yeah.
So we got all our mics stolen in here. First night we left them in here, but the owner actually forked out the money and replaced them, which was pretty nice because we were kind of on our own. You know, it's like, hey, put this stuff in here at your own risk.
Right.
So Mike Kubicek
Yeah.
rebought all the
Thank you,
mics, a
Mike.
lot better ones.
Yeah.
Mike bought the mics.
Yeah, Mike bought the mics.
Yeah. And he checked those hoes.
You're a poet. You didn't know it.
That right?
Stop this rhyming now. I mean it.
That voice you just heard, that's Chris. He's
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
hiding.
Gary, that's Chris. Say hello.
Hi,
Turn
guys.
the camera
Yeah.
around, Chris, and say,
Oh,
hey,
no, I'm
Chris.
not doing that.
Turn around. We hadn't heard much from you.
This is
Wow.
Mr. Christopher Churn.
Yeah, this is our audio engineer. This is the guy that set up all this stuff because I wouldn't know how the fuck any of this gets put together or works.
Yeah. I mean, me neither. You know. Go ahead, Chris. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a newcomer, so learning about this whole recovery thing is just a really big deal to me. So I'm just really grateful to be here, guys.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you found your purpose, which is a big deal.
Yeah. So I'm really trying to dig deep into this whole recovery thing. You know? I don't really have a lot of experience doing it, and the experience I have doing it, I fucking gave up every fucking time. So trying a new thing, actually doing it doesn't really take much, but like I'm getting my shit done. So I'm really happy to be here.
Awesome, Chris. Thank you, Bubba.
Thanks,
man, I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah,
I think everybody in this room right now, man, it takes a tough son of a bitch to do what it is that we've done, you know. And I'm not. It's not some self-righteous thing. I'm not just I'm just saying, period. When guys are powerless, when we just talked about the powerlessness of this illness, because it is an illness, right?
Oh,
It's the most misunderstood illness on the face of the planet, right? And so a lot of people think it's willpower, you know. But I'll tell you what, man. When it comes to willpower, I'm sure everybody can sign off on this, you know. In every other thing, not regarding my drug use, I'm a fucking go getter, man. You know, if I put my mind to it, I'm gonna go fucking get her. Now you got to push all that shit aside, right?
Right.
And so the powerlessness. And so when we look at and we talk about normies, you know, I see all the time, man. We talked about this earlier, Chris, about people saying that junkies, man, they talk about, you know, let them kill themselves. You know, why? What's the need for Narcan? You know, the number one safety hazard in the United States right now and in the world, guess what it is? It's alcoholism and drug addictionism, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, it's so controversial and it's so broad, you know, with the recovery thing. And I've had normies say, Nick, you know, that I knew in high school, I'm so proud of you, Nick. You know, I'm glad that you made that choice to make that turn and do the next right thing. And to be honest with you, I wanted to say thank you, but there was a part of me that was like, man, I tried to make that choice so many times before, right? With willpower. And then you tell a normie, hey, God saved me. Tell an atheist normie that. They'll say you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but it's okay. You know, I'm at peace with that, and you know, I have so many. You know, anyway, I'm not trying to make it about me, but
I think one of the biggest things, man, and this has happened with me numerous times in my life, and you see it all the time with people just trying to sober up. Is we don't give ourselves a chance, you know. Like it takes a little while. It took a minute for my head to get unfucked, you know. Right. And people talk about like acceptance. Like I accepted that I wasn't going to be okay for a while. Like I was going to feel like shit. I was going to think fucking crazy, you know. And that was going to be okay. Like I was okay with not being okay. And it gave me some time to clear my head and figure out a plan on what I wanted to do.
Yeah. I hated the label alcoholic, man. I couldn't fucking stand that.
Why?
You're an alcoholic. Oh my God. No, fuck you. No, I'm not.
right.
I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfect. I hated that label. And then if there's a stigma around that, somebody calls you an addict or an alcoholic, you don't want it.
Yeah.
Right.
Shrug it off.
And I'm not anonymous, bro. Like, and I've told you all this. Like, and you know, there were a few guys that I saw, you know, that would, you know, this one individual in particular, he's huge in the recovery game, and he came and he did his speech or whatever, it was a little hour long, and this guy was fucking phenomenal. I mean, spoke my soul, right? And he said, "Look, my name is such and such, and I am not anonymous because too many of us are dying." And you know what? My pride might kill the next man because the next man might need to hear the message that I'm about to say.
For sure, man.
So I'm going to put my pride aside and I'm going to say, "Hi, I'm Nick and I'm a heroin addict, but I don't have to use today. And here's why. Here's how." Right? And so it just speaks volumes to me, you know, and the fact that we can walk the walk, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have never thought I would have been out on social media or doing a freaking podcast telling people I'm a fucking alcoholic. Totally out myself doing this shit now. It's out there now. I'm fucked. Hi, I'm Jeremiah. I'm fucked.
Oh, we knew that before, bro. It's been
Hi,
like
Jeremiah.
the whole time, dog. Don't worry about it. He's like, yeah, whatever, dog. But James, I had there's a few more things I wanted to ask you, man. You know, so have you? So for me, man, in my first year in my recovery, there was a lot of new things that were happening.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of new obstacles that I had to deal with. And when, you know, that cliche that they talk about in the 12-step program, they talk about life on life's terms.
Right.
They talk about dealing with things, you know, facing your fears and things like that, the cliches, right? So I wanted to ask you, since in your first year, what were some of the things that you were able to use? What are some things that you did to cope and to deal with these things that came? And what we call life, right? And sober minded. I want to know, what did you do?
I think one of the biggest things was being able, and like you talked about pride, is like being able to just fucking push my pride to the side and go to other men in the program and be like, man, look, I don't know what to do, man. There were a lot of situations. Clay, he was my roommate, man, and man, dude. There was a lot of days, a lot of nights where I just sat there and fucking cried, and I'm like, I know it's going to change, and I know God has a plan for me, and this situation is going to work itself out. I'm like, fuck, man, it's hard, and sometimes it hurts, man.
For sure.
One of the biggest things I've dealt with over this past year was my 21-year-old son, and reconnected with him, and we hadn't talked for about 3.5, 4 years.
Oh, okay.
And because of being sober, like so when I was in jail this last time, I kept thinking, I was like, man, I'm gonna run into my son in here, like straight up, not like a hypothetical thing. Like he's gonna fucking come in here with the fucking case, and we're gonna be locked up together.
Literally.
And I can't even bail myself out. Like, how can I? If he calls me and says he needs help, what can I do about it? Nothing. And I wanted to change my life and get back on my feet so I could offer him help. And we reconnected, and it was hard hearing some of the stuff that he had gone through the past couple of years. Like that was really fucking emotional for me. And I was able to reach one of my goals, right? Like I wanted to be able to help him out. And he called me one night and he was like, man, I want to stop, I want to stop this. Like, can I come? You got a bed for me, man. And I was able to provide that for him. Now, he didn't take it, okay? Which we can't make somebody want to change what they're doing. He didn't accept the help, but I was able to offer it to him. And that, to me, that was an amazing thing, man. It wasn't how I was picturing it.
Yeah.
That I was going to be able to offer him a place to stay and his papers for into sober living. Like I thought I'd be in my own crib and be able to like have him come and stay or some shit. But I was still able to offer him help.
Right.
And when he's ready, man, it will still be there for him.
For sure. And, that's something that I've thought about. My son's 12,
okay.
And he's going through that. He said the other night, hey, Dad, I got a hair under my armpits. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like,
no, dude, my son, he's 21 and he has 3 kids already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, I couldn't imagine being a grandfather.
Yeah, that shit's fucking crazy, man. I'm 42.
You're a grandpa, Mr. Bates.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's pretty wild, man.
I love it, man. And you have the cigar, too, man. You got that cigar, too, bro. Damn Skippy. First time I met James, he pulls up. He goes, what's up, man? He's got a cigar. Fucking he's cutting it up, too. Like all the Palm style and shit, right? With his plaid. I'm like, man, this fucking dude is a beast.
Dude, I've never smoked cigarettes, right?
Right.
Unless they were fucking dipped in PCP.
Embalming fluid.
Yeah, man. I was strung out pretty bad for a while.
I wonder what you were like.
Yeah, really. I was a mess, dude.
Bro, walking around Acres Homes, dog, was just not knowing where the bus stop was.
I was a mess, man. When I tried to get off of smoking wet, dude, I had a stutter. I was like trying to talk to. I was like, oh man. I was like, I fucked myself up tonight, man.
That's serious stuff.
Yeah, it went away. So
yeah, $5 sticks.
No, man.
The dips.
$20 sherms, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
I was in the hood.
So just a quick throw to those listening. If you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I'll ask them away.
Yeah. Who? Hey,
So we got one question. It's from a follower named Ashley Locke. She says,
"What up, dog?
Why does James look so tense?"
I didn't know I did look so tense, but
he's got to. He always looks like he's about to whip someone's ass, man.
Yeah.
No, man. I'm very gentle.
Tense gentleman.
Keep in mind, guys, this is a dry run for the real show. We have a real show. It's going to be on March 22nd, 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
It's Dr. Sid K. He's actually my grand sponsor. He's really well-spoken guy. He's a dentist.
He better that prick better be well spoken.
Yeah, he's funny too.
Fucker ain't coming. Nah, I'm just playing.
I hope he doesn't like bring his little. I hope he doesn't bring the coronavirus with him.
Did he do?
No,
porn? Did he do porn also?
No.
He was giving gummies. Not just playing. Nothing.
No, he is coming from. He flew in from Canada today, so we were lucky that he didn't get stuck on the travel restrictions.
Right.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell everybody why you have blue tape on your microphone, Jeremiah?
Because it sucks. This thing is all nice and stripped out already.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that is the same color of your balls, correct?
Correct. It's been a while.
Gentlemen, if you're listening, sounds like Jeremiah is single. So,
lady.
Yeah, to all the fellows out there. You got any more questions up there?
no, not right now.
Okay.
But,
So I got a few questions, Mr. James. So this is another thing that I wanted to ask you, man. Well, let me finish with what I was talking about with my son real quick. You know, with the hair under the armpits and shit. You know, I'm nervous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because he's talking about this and that. You know what amazed me, bro, was the fact that he said, "Hey, Dad, I'm wondering. I'm just curious. Do you think I can move in with you?" And it blew me away, bro. Like, I never would have thought in a million years, not only would I be having my son in my truck next to me with his seatbelt on, you know, playing his Nintendo Switch that I bought him for Christmas. And I say this because I was never in the position to ever provide for my own son, right? And so these are things so profound. It's material things, but
it seems like if somebody's not an addict, that's like, oh, that seems so
that's
fucking basic. Yeah, that's just what you do, but that's
man.
A big deal, man.
It is.
That's a big deal.
It is. And you know, he told me that, and
not going to score with your kid sitting next to you. That's a big deal for someone like me, man.
And I'm still not growing up myself, bro. Like I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? Let's jam some Lil Wayne and let's jam, you know. And he wants to turn the music down, and I'm like, fuck yeah, you know what I mean? And he's
like, oh my god,
he you know. And so I'm having that trouble, right, with trying to have those boundaries, those healthy boundaries with my son, because I want him to say, you know, we went to my niece's dance recital thing the last week, and there's a bunch of girls his age, and I'm like, hey, Nathan, what's up? Dad, stop. Shut up, man. Dad, stop it. I was like, man, I wanted to be the dad I never had, right? Because my dad was alcoholic. He was out of my life, and blah blah blah. But the thing is, man, I have no instruction manual on how to do this.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a dad and your son's a wingman.
Yeah, it's all just a word, man. It's all evolving.
So I told my son 2 years ago, I was riding in my truck, man, and it was ready. I was time for me to make my amends to my boy, and I said, hey, Nathan, I wanted to tell you something, you know, and I had to force him to get in my truck. For some reason, he just wanted to be on his headphones. He's introverted, right? But whatever, we'll talk about that later. He's a gamer. This is cool, right? Kind of like Chris. Kind of, they're like spirit animals maybe or something. But anyway, but yeah, no, I made the amends and I said, Nathan, I got to tell you something. I have no excuse for being out of your life for so long, and I'm going to try my best to make it right. And he goes, yeah, Dad, I know you're a heroin addict. And I go,
that wasn't a baby, you know?
I go, oh my God, I was thinking to myself, I mean, my kid was 10 at the time, How did they know that shit? Kids know, they know, you know what I mean? And so it's so profound, man. I cried. He gave me a hug and he said, I forgive you, Dad. Let's just keep going. I couldn't, and what killed me the most, man, it was the fact that I could not promise him that I was never going to do it again.
Right.
And that was where I was hoping he didn't ask more questions because I said, I can promise you I'm going to try my best.
But I think that's a little bit of the growth as an individual. Like, you know that, relapse is always a possibility.
Oh, absolutely.
So why make those promises that we might someday fucking break? For sure. All I can do is I'm going to try my best not to.
Right.
And do what I need to protect myself from against that.
My second time out of treatment, my second time I was with my son at McDonald's, and he asked me, he's like, Dad, are you an alcoholic? And I just I didn't know how to answer. I didn't know how to answer that. I was stunned.
Right.
I almost wanted to cry, run out the door.
Yeah, or ask them if the ice cream machine's on or working, right?
Yeah,
eBay that shit, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, man. But no, that just experiences like that, man. That especially with my family, James. That I cherish, and that what keeps me going. And it's part of the. In the 12-step program, it talks about the promises and the things that can come true in your life if you get sober and you start to, recover, right? In recovery. So I wanted to ask you too, man, what is your definition of recovery?
Good question.
Yeah, man.
It's good. I mean, it's legit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's everybody has their own different definition. It just depends on whatever you're,
Different for everybody. The pathway.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, many pathways.
Man, I mean, now I'm thinking about a lot of different things.
It's all good, man.
The first word that comes to my mind is just rebuilding. I mean, with recovery, like you're rebuilding your life brick by brick.
Right.
I mean, if I were to build this, IOP building from scratch, it would take a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I run through here with fucking gasoline and a match, it's down in a night. And that's how my life is,
Right.
As soon as I build things back up, which it takes a minute, then I burn it down.
Right.
And it's something that it's a slow process, just brick by brick, man. But yeah, I mean, rebuilding, growth,
The foundation.
I mean, dude, it's peace, peace, inner peace, man. Like, dude, I don't know if I've become desensitized to certain things. Maybe that's a little part of it, but there's some situations they just don't really affect me anymore.
Right. Right.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I mean, it's serenity.
Being honest,
it's serenity, right? The words, when you just talked that, or when you just said that, I was thinking about peace. And when you said peace, I thought about serenity, and I thought about the first time that I realized that the obsession was removed.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I had like 18 months at one time, and it was a daily struggle. Like I woke up, God, please take this feeling away. Like I want to go get high.
Right.
I don't know why I don't have that anymore. I don't.
It's just removed.
But I'm not going to ask too many questions when it comes to that. I don't want God throwing it back. But here's the thing, like this last time I sobered up, I've been praying. I was like, God, please help me get off this shit. Like, please help me sober up. And he did. You got to be careful for what you ask for. He threw me in the county for a minute. Here you go. You're going to sober up, dude.
Right. You're going to get sober one way or another.
Yep.
So I got a good question. What is your, because I'm a newcomer and I got a lot of questions just to ask the old timers here. And what's your, okay, well, you've been in it longer than me, so I'll ask you this question. What's your main motivation? What I'm sure, like, do you wake up every day like today's gonna be a great day because I'm sober, or like what's your main motivation to keep sober?
Man, the main motivation to stay sober?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to fucking detox again.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that life is just so fucking good. Like, I just don't want to go through that again, man. Seizures, hallucinations, like that shit, it's not fun, man. And I think the desire to not go through that is greater than wanting to use right now. And being able to constantly see people who are detoxing, that it helps reinforce that. Be like, I'm good, man. I'm good for the rest of the night. Dude.
Working at a detox facility, bro, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. Because how quickly I can forget, right? I forget. Sometimes I'll forget, man. I can sit here and talk to you guys about shit that happened 4 years ago, right? This is me, right? I can talk about shit that happened 4 years ago and look at it like it's a hologram, right? Picture like Star Wars and shit, Princess Leia, like that's me on the ground going, oh my God, please take this from me. And go, my God, that fucking sucks. But I don't feel it. Yeah. That's so I can talk about it, but it's hard for me to go back and to feel it, right? Like, for instance, with empathy, right? So I work at a detox, and so I see people come in all the time that are just wrecked. You have guys that come in there that are just like, it's their last stand, right? And I have that empathy and I have that understanding. It's sometimes it's still difficult for me to feel that, even though I know that I don't want to go back there. It's I got my mom calling me right now. You want me to answer it and put her on the ready? Hey, Ma, you're live.
What's up, Mom?
What's up, Mom? Yeah, we're actually live right now on the radio station, and I got you on the microphone, and I was just about ready to talk about how I took Rex's seizure medication when you had me watch the house.
You took dog meds? Yeah, dude. A buddy of mine used to give Valium to his dog when it had thunderstorms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got high on doggy Valium.
I'm not the only one.
It's the same Valium that you.
It's the same thing.
Hey, Mom, let me call you back, though, but this is what. Oh, yeah. For sure. We will talk about that for sure, Mom. I got you. All right, love you too, Mom. Good night. See that? That's crazy. She calls me. And says, "Hey, look." She's
I
out.
gotta take a call.
Oh, James, come on, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
What's happening, dog?
well,
Business.
I think we gotta end it now. But
Well, man, that was this was a great fucking
this was
introduction.
This is a good test run.
Yeah.
I mean, we kicked ass, man. James.
Well, thank you, James, so
Fucking
much
awesome.
for coming up here, man.
No, this is cool that y'all got this set up, man. These guys, y'all did everything on your own, the equipment, getting it set up. So that was cool,
It was kind of cool. We paid $0.00 with just a wacky idea, out of your brain, and things just kind of materialized.
Well, and this is cool too now because you've got Post Oak, Spring Branch. All the AA clubs are shutting down. And people are doing more online meetings. So any kind of recovery based, anything recovery that people can get on Facebook, online, like that's just what it's going to be. Yeah, that's what it's going to be for right now, man. But
For sure, man. James,
we got you guys covered, so we're going to try to cram more people on here more frequently.
James, thank you for telling us some of your story, man. It's fucking awesome, dude. I feel like, we really appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming on here, bro.
Sure, no problem.
Hell yeah.
And Jeremiah, thank you
Yes.
for dealing with our bullshit.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And y'all stay tuned. Jeremiah will be using the same webcam. They're changing sets.
To wipe the mics off
Strap on
with blue tape.
Don't worry, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
James, this is the casting couch.
Oh, man.
Hell yeah. See Jeremiah over there. Hell yeah. What's he holding the mic up with, anyway?
We warned you this was coming, dog.
I knew it was. At least it got aired now.
I had to. When I said that, everybody looked at me. Jeremiah looked at me like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah, I did.
Oh, man. He started shaking over there. He had a sweat bead coming down his forehead. He had to zoom in on that shit. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you to the listeners and
All
thank you
right.
to James and SLH and everybody that helped out.
Thanks for putting up with us out there.
We're
I'll
gonna
give a shout out to myself, Nikki B. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hey, pan the camera over to Nick.
Yeah. Anyway, we want to, hey, Jeremiah, thank you for that.
Brooklyn, hey.
Hey, I'm from everywhere. I've been on the fucking Travel Channel. I need 2 beers. You guys know what I'm talking about. 2 beers. All right. Yeah. And we are